So we said there's 5 steps. It's going to go much quicker now. This is the hardest part, is number 2. So what's the first step to doing RPM? Number 1 is you got to do what? Nice and loud. What? Step number 2 is after you capture all in one location, maybe you learn to chunk it a little bit while it's still there, see what relates. But then what's step number 2? Create a what? An RPM plan. Not just a plan, an RPM plan. R stands for result, P stands for purpose, M stands for massive action plan. RPM is like a car. You increase the RPMs, increases its power, you get from here to there much faster. RPM. Results. What does it stand for? Results focused, purpose driven, massive action plan. That's an RPM. Results focused, purpose driven, massive action plan. That's what you want. So, what are the 3 questions and the 3 actions in order if you have a plan? Tell me. First question is, what's that? What do I? Yes, what do I want? What's my outcome? What's the specific what? Result. And that's often a good way to ask that same question. Start general, what do I want? Turn it into an outcome, get it down to a specific result. Second question, what's my big why? What's my purpose? What's my reasons? What's my why? What's my purpose? Why do I want to do this? That's the real question. Why do I want to do this? Very different to want to than to have to, isn't it? Now, what's my massive action plan? What do I need to do? How many got this in your body by repetition now? Say I. What are the 3 actions? Number 1, we want to figure out which ones are our what? Must. 20% that makes 80% of the difference, asterisk those. Those are your priorities. You're not going to do them all. Just decide you're not going to do them all. Let go. Be free. 2, figure out minimum, maximum time for them. Estimate, just off the top of your head. 3 minutes to 10 minutes. 45 minutes to 90 minutes. Give yourself the range. On the computer, by the way, it adds it all up, and you can look at a block, and it already tells you for the whole day how much time. Minimum, must time, maximum amount of time. By each RPM block, it'll do it for you. But you can do it by hand. It's well worth a few seconds to do. Third thing we want to do, see, is there any of this that we could what? How could this soccer mom leverage? Her activities are things like drive the kids to school, pick them up from the school, drive them to violin practice, drive Johnny to soccer practice. A driver. Said in perfect Russian. Could you do a carpool? Could you trade days? Yes. So that when you're doing it, could you do the morning and someone else did the afternoon? If you were really looking at this, there's ways to do it. And by the way, could you get your outcome with your kids in the morning session so the afternoon you really felt like you connected? You made more of a difference in that morning than if you've been driving them all day long, stressed out. How many follow that? Say I. I've taken people like this, and I can show them the real times that it takes to get their job done, and they tell me they have no time. You know they have no time? Because guess what they say to themselves all day long? I have no time. And they're so stressed, they eat up all their time telling themselves how they have no time. They think about how they have no time. They eat up all their time. They don't think efficiently, and they don't leverage anything. If you do these first 2 steps, would you be light years ahead of anybody else around you to think yes or no? Third step, commit and schedule. 3 C's so far. Capture, create the plan, commit, and schedule. Let me tell you what I mean by commit. Commit is, now that I've got these, let's say, 6 outcomes for the day. Does that make sense? 6 outcome blocks. Each one of them has an outcome, a purpose, might have 4, 5, 6 action items in it. I know the most important ones. I might look at those and go, some of the stuff is scheduled. Like I have to do this at 3 o'clock today. So you lock that in your schedule. You put in what we call the big rocks first. Some of you know this metaphor. If I take a glass over here, and I take this glass and I start to, see if I got a glass over here, show you what I mean. Yeah. So assume I take this glass over here, and it's already this full, and then I start adding items to it. How long before this thing's going to overflow? But if this was empty, and I first take the big items, the rocks of my life, the things that I have to do that I've scheduled, they go in first, a couple rocks. And then secondarily, I commit to some block time for some things that matter to me. Like I'm going to block some time here with my team between 2 and 3:30 every single Thursday where we're going to go through one of these 7 items. How many know what I'm talking about here? Okay? I'm going to block that time. Okay? I'm going to commit that time. All right? So commit is committing the most important things and then scheduling those other items that are going to be important to you. So it goes from just a list to when am I going to what? When am I going to work on it? When am I going to do it? Block times can move. Scheduled times can't unless you renegotiate. What's the difference between a block time and a scheduled time? Scheduled is you made a commitment to another person. So it can't be moved without negotiation. Got to call them, got to work it out. Block time, you could move if you need to. So it has more flexibility. Make sense? And you do this, and the way to do it, we do it on the computer. It's actually fun, but I've done it on paper for years. Okay, so we got capture. Pretty easy. Just get out of your head, one location. We got create the plan, 3 questions, 3 action items you're going to do there. Then you got an RPM plan. Number 3, we commit and what? Schedule. Number 4, what do you want to do? Complete and achieve. Complete the most important items, achieve what you're after. It's that simple. And then finally, the most important one of all, to me, celebrate. They're all C's. Celebrate. Why is it important to celebrate your victories? Celebrate the magic moments of your week or the magic moments of your day. Why is it important to do that, you think? Because it's what gives you the energy to go for more. Does that make sense? Otherwise, it's like, remember I told you the cheese and cracker story? You know, you're holding out to, someday I'm going to celebrate. Someday never comes. Someday leads to a town called nowhere. Right? You don't want to be in that place. So you want to celebrate, and you want to celebrate the little victories. You want to celebrate the magic moments. How many breakthroughs have you had this week? Forget the things you've learned. How many of you have had breakthroughs, like insights, distinctions about you or your business that you couldn't put a dollar value on it? You know for you, the value is infinite. How many got experiences like that? Okay? So if you don't capture that, you don't give yourself credit. When you don't give yourself credit, your brain doesn't notice it. Remember sitting the first day, here's how things get created. You get obsessively focused on something. Doesn't the system help you to focus on what you want? You generate enough energy and emotion, you're totally committed, you'll do anything to achieve it. And then step 2 is execution. And step 3 is grace. But grace gets magnified the more you appreciate it. The more you notice that you're guided or that things have happened for you. Those you've been in a date with destiny, I have a core belief, and that is life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. It's your job to figure out how it's happening for you. If you don't notice it, you won't experience it, right? That's what we're talking about. So from now on, if you never saw you again and you didn't go to your coach, at least you know the thinking process. I go to a meeting. Before I go to the meeting, guess what I do? I write down a bunch of outcomes. What are my outcomes of the meeting? What do you think I do first? I have a little capture sheet for the meeting. All week long, something comes up, I write it on that sheet. I don't write 20 emails to people in the middle of nowhere. Say, by the way, let's talk about this. I just capture it. When I get there, I look at my list. What are the most important outcomes? If I have some action items, what outcome do they fit under? I go in the meeting, what do I ask other people? Tell us, what are the most important for this meeting? The most important? Everything is outcome. When you're outcome driven, you produce results like nobody else. And I'm associated to the why. Why am I doing this? Why am I in partnership with these people? Right? What's this all about? Because that'll put you in state. So, 5 parts of RPM. Let's see what they are. Number 1, what? Nice and loud. Nice and loud. Number 2, create a, yes, what kind of plan? RPM plan. What's the R stand for? Results focused. P is for purpose driven. M is for massive action plan. Massive action plan is a map. M-A-P, massive action plan, a map. Okay, what are the 3 questions that will make you know you have that plan? Question number 1 is, what's the next example after that? What is my outcome? What's my actual result? Second question, what's my purpose? Why do I want to do this? Right? Why do I want to do this? What's my big whys? And then third question, what's my massive action plan? Or another word for it is, what do I need to what? Now asking what to do makes sense. Makes total sense. What are the 3 things you do in that plan in addition to those 3 questions? Figure out what the musts are. Figure out the minimum must what? And number 3, find yourself some. Great. What's step number 3? For this to be alive and not just be on a piece of paper, I got to take this from an idea and I got to commit. And when am I going to do this? What day? What week? What month? What hour? Right? I tend to plan weekly first, and I put it in days, and when I get the night before, I plan the day, because a lot moves around until that time. Right? Then after I do that, what do I need to do? What's step 4? Complete what? Complete what? All the actions? The outcomes. Complete by achieving what matters most. Cut to the chase. Get to the must. Is it possible by having that outcome so clear, you might come out with something that's not on the page that's better and get you there quicker? Yes or no? And by the way, on the computer, you can leverage a whole block. You can push a button, send it to somebody an email, push a button, and give an audio message of what you want, and they can accept it and comes back and say they accept it. So I'm excited about what it's going to be like. Or use your iPhone, or use whatever you want. It's a thinking process. Then on the other hand, think about this. So leverage, if you leverage it, you're staying connected, you know what's going on, but also they know the outcome, they know the why, and it might be useful to talk in terms of their why too. So now they're activated. Why do people do certain things and not others? Because certain things they have enough reasons to in their reasons. Other things they don't. They value something more. When people say, I didn't have time for this, what they're really saying is something else was more important to me. But usually it isn't really something that was more important. It was something else that's more urgent, and they don't know what's important to them. So maybe you can help them. Third piece is complete and achieve. Fourth, complete and achieve. What's the final step? 5. Celebrate. And the way I celebrate personally is I'm constantly making lists of magic moments and accomplishments.